They sent our work to China. They sent our work to China, cheaper, better, less rejects, and that included flying at 6 billion miles or however far it is. They showed us one of the Chinese boxes, looked like crap, we reckoned. Ours were handcrafted from local timber, cut by Bob, sanded by Brett, varnished by Declan, foiled by Trev, drilled, assembled and packed by Ros and me. We thought of ourselves as craftsmen, even though Ros and I were women. Declan was an Irishman. He laughed at everything 8 hours a day. I wondered if laughter overlaid sorrow. Had 4 daughters, never drank, but it was a fierce smoker before he fell off the roof in Ireland and smashed his foot to a limping pulp. Nurofen Plus were his lollies, he said. Had a strawberry jam sandwich for lunch every day. Wore his work clothes to shreds. As bits of his shirt and shorts fell away, he revealed himself to me. Married at 18 to the same woman, the only one he'd ever had. Ros didn't believe it. I found it hard not to love him. It's widely known that I'm partial to the Irish. Bob was the foreman. He rode his bike to work every day down from the hills. He loved God and his family of boys. He was clean. He ate Ros's banana one day thinking it was his. We called him Banana Man after that, but not to his face. Bob's kids collected rare poultry from the internet. Transylvanian nude necks and bantam pheasants flew in from all over the country. Something was always in the incubator from an outer Brisbane suburb, but a small gene pool and the air trip affected the hatch rate. They remained ever hopeful. When my son's friend suicided, he gave me a copy of The Watchtower, What to Do When a Sibling Suicides. Don't blame yourself, it said. Although we weren't related, somehow I took some of the blame. Trevor was a printer from Manchester. He was still in love with hot metal. Married to an Aussie girl, been here for 40 years. I told him how I heard on the radio that printers in the 17th century drank beer all day in order to be able to piss on the ink pads. By the end of the day they were drunk, and now some of the words of Shakespeare are questionable. When his doctor asked him how much he drank, he lied. He learned how to walk the minefield of workplace relations in the Printers' Union. He could hold his cards close to his chest. When they executed the Bali bombers, he said, "They shot those pricks at last." Trev stuck to his principles. Brett was black. Ros was a New Zealander. "Yeah, I'm Maori," she said, "but my family don't go on about it. We work hard, it is our thing, and we know how to party." Brett was an open book, told us everything, who he had fucked, when and how many times, what they had sucked, licked and stroked. He had zero shame. "Dirty bastard," said Ros. "If you use a condom, you'll catch something." He gambled on everything: dogs, horses, trots, footy, carried home the offcuts. No one knew what he did with them. He was an artist, he said. He gave me a cracked ceramic pot carved with black swans in a cityscape. I kept it by the front door, full of crow feathers. Later I met Brett at the railway station. He was working for a meat processor. The offcuts were better, he said. After Brett, we got Al. He wisecracked and made anti-feminist remarks when we met him. Ros and I sent him to Coventry first thing. Didn't take him long to work it out and mend his ways. Ros didn't like him. He talks too fucking much. But I didn't mind the stories of his wives, his life, his work, his opinions, his jokes, his accountant, his loves, his cars, his ups and downs and his money. I liked that he threw his alarm clock down the backyard when he gave up shift work. I was a mystery to him, a woman of immense bravery, because I caught the train and walked home from work through the park alone. "Aren't you afraid?" he asked. Chris was crazy. His name was Paul, but I believed his real name was Chris. He wanted to kill people. He listed all the people he wanted to bash, shoot or stab. First he wanted to kill his ex-missus, shooting was preferable, then bash his ex-mate who fucked the ex-missus, then stab the bloke up the road for staring at him, then bash, stab and shoot his neighbours for stealing his stuff, then shoot, although it was probably too good for them, all the fucking scummy, junky cunts. He told us this as he ate his sausage roll and sauce at lunchtime. The cops had a bloke in handcuffs down at the deli. They should have shot the fucking junkie. I kept alert during these tirades. There'd been a fucking junkie in my family until he made his final run to paradise. Roz said, he's on something, or he has an anger problem. I thought it was Boz.
Yeah.